gentlemen, what is up? Welcome on a very special Valentine's Day. It's Courage and I.
Yeah.
Talking Call of Duty. What is
exactly
the studio color? I thought we were going to do pink in here, Ron. We did pink in the background, but not in the studio. Anyway, Jack, we have our 2K tournament on UMG as usual here for Saturdays. And today, special Valentine's Day, seems like the bracket's a little smaller than usual, which is kind of good news for all of the ladies of our gamers that normally participate.
Exactly. There are definitely a few that you would be happy to see them taking the day off. You know, got to take a little break here. But then also on the other side of things, there are some players who are probably risking their relationships playing today. But you got to get those pro points. Definitely a big thing.
I like it. In fact, there's a lot of our players that have fiancés or girlfriends,
yes.
and they're still participating. I was actually really surprised. You and I just did a quick scan of the bracket. Let's do it now with the community. Some of these teams definitely different than their normal name, starting with My Balls Smell.
This kills me. This actually kills me. I crack up.
I wonder who said this for Optic Gaming to make that officially their name in the bracket. We'll make sure to use the Optic logo when we broadcast them. Echo got past Cole Has Risen, a team that kind of shocked everybody with their performance trying to get into Season 2. But what do you think Echo's chances are today going up against Optic Gaming?
I mean, Optic's obviously playing. I don't think they're going to have too many distractions here. I don't think they would have played in this if they were going to be too distracted by the holiday and what's been going on. Honestly, I think it'll still be best of threes for the next match, if I'm not mistaken. I know it's a smaller bracket today, so I'm not entirely sure. But if it's a best of three, then maybe they'll have a chance of kind of taking a fluke game one and utilizing that lower seed with two hosts there.
Yep.
But outside of that, I really do believe that's their only chance. Outside of that, I see Optic Gaming just steamrolling that one.
I think Optic, clearly the best team in the game right now, going to be the favorite there. Single and Lonely. I got to see who this is.
The team names today.
Felony, Sensor, and Octane. So a little bit of a pickup squad here with Proofy and Sensor from FaZe Black, and then you got Just Felony and Octane. Interesting to see the two duos playing here. Who do they have to go up against in the bracket? It looks like Aware will be their first major challenge, assuming Aware is able to get past Empire.
Yeah, and I think that this Aware lineup will actually wind up taking that one. I mean, looking at things at their squad, they're playing obviously with Happy, TJ Halley, Huke, and Accuracy. So I think this team's going to come into it and just be very strong. Once again, I believe that those will be best of three matches as well. So definitely is more of a chance of a toss-up there. But, I mean, you're not playing with your full team there for FaZe Black. And Aware, I think, is going to come in here. These are the Pro Points weekends, Chris, that can really make a difference. Some of these teams definitely want to move up in these rankings. I mean, that's why I was surprised to see Optic Gaming playing today, because if I'm not mistaken, right now they have like a 200,000 Pro Point lead, so missing 2K to take the day off, I feel like they earned it.
These guys making that Valentine's Day streaming money for sure. Single and Lonely, excited to see this squad. In fact, I want to see how they perform in S&D. Sensor's going to be the bomb carrier, of course. Felony known for his S&D gameplay. What will they do against Aware? Will they be able to steal a win? Aware and Optic, though, definitely the match I expect to see in our quarterfinals, and I'm actually excited to see how Aware matches up, because this is basically your stunner squad that you saw back at UMG Orlando. The finals of that tournament was against Optic Gaming. TJ Huke in there with Accuracy and Happy this time, mixing things up just a little bit on that roster. But going down in the bracket, who else do we got here in our second quadrant?
Well, one team that we would have seen was Optic Nation, and right now they're the biggest surprise. They've been knocked out of the tournament already, so that was definitely that's got to be frustrating for them, because once again, these are the weekends where they want to kind of improve in Pro Points, especially in a smaller bracket like this. Wow. But then we also see AR is down there, and they're going to be facing Nick on the block, which is the Prophecy team. So AR and Prophecy is a matchup that's going to be coming up here. Hopefully we can bring in that one. Then we have Denial, and they're going to be playing against DA Below Zero, and Below Zero just took out Isolation. Finally, TK, you got, I believe we see SB, we've got Orbit, we've got FaZe. So much talent left in this 2K, Chris.
It's going to be exciting. I am excited for this AR Nick on the block match. So, of course, Justice going up, or Prof rather, excuse me, Moch and Classic playing with Embos and Ricky, 4COD champs, and then we see Spacely, Wheats, Anticity, and Burn. So, interesting matchup here. Spacely filling in with the AR guys. How do you think he fits this team?
I actually think it's a pretty good fit for him. Once again, I feel like he's just one of those players that can excel on a pickup squad. So with him just kind of getting thrown into this lineup for today, if there's a chance of them taking it out, I feel like if any pro team right now, it could potentially be Prophecy. But if it comes down to the S&D, I don't see how Prophecy loses this one. And to be honest, I think that they'll move on.
All right. Well, I actually just got an invite to that AR game. Burns, thank you for that. We're going to be joining up. Jack, I'll send you an invite ASAP, and then we will get into the action. Prediction coming into this matchup, AR with their lineup featuring Spacely going up against the full Prof squad.
Well, looking at things right here, it's going to be Hardpoint Detroit first, then Uplink on Biolab, then Search and Destroy on Solar. If it goes 3 games, I think Prophecy takes it.
Okay.
But if AR can sneak game number 1 and then really just on Biolab hold down the Biolab room and really just kind of manipulate how that map goes and hold down exactly what they need to, then I see them taking a 2-0 here. So it really is going to come down to if Prophecy can win 1 respawn.
Can Prof get the first especially? That's going to be exciting matchup. Burns off Anticity already in the lobby. We got Embos, Ricky, Classic, and Moch. All of Prof, I believe, should be hosting this one. Our first map, it looks like, is actually going to be Detroit Hardpoint. I'm going with, I want to say AR, but I'm going Prof here. I think Prof takes the first Hardpoint.
I believe so too, and I mean, once again, AR, don't get me wrong, now with the Team House, they've been looking much stronger. But once again, playing with Spacely as a fill-in today, I just don't see it going their way here. I do believe this is Burns' host.
Oh, it is Burns', okay.
I believe it's his because he has the points there next to him too, because I think this was his lobby, and then he just ended it and ended the warm-up game he was playing and then invited everyone.
Well, if it's Burns' host, it should be everyone's host then for AR.
Yeah, so that could that's what I'm bringing up. That's I think the swing thing is, can Prophecy win one of these? If I'm AR and they get to choose the 2 or the 3 games they host because they're the lower seed, then I'm taking Hardpoint right away. So I think we're about to get the lobby loaded in here, but I think this could go either way. Definitely, if it's Burns' host, we're gonna have a close game.
I like it. We're just waiting on one last player. While we do that, let's jump through the rest of the bracket real quick. Yeah. As you mentioned, Denial is going to be in here playing under Valentine's Day. We're going to see DA Below Zero, a squad that I've seen in a lot of tournaments recently for us. They haven't been able to make it to the finals, but always fighting for that top 16. They're also a team that will be featured at the regional finals for North America, trying to secure their spot at COD Champs. TK and Rise, though, I think is the matchup we're all going to be looking forward to here in the bottom. TK able to take out our Mexican squad, Aztec Gaming, another team that we'll see at the North American regionals. But what do you think about that TK Rise matchup?
This is another one that I feel Rise is a team, man, that really hasn't impressed me, especially as of late. I think that TK is going to come in here with a vengeance. You know, Sharp no longer at the house anymore, but the rest of those players are set up and ready to go. I don't really see how TK loses that one. TK is a team that, you know, they're going to do what they need to on land. We've seen it time and time again. Yes, they've faltered here in the past a little bit, but online they were struggling in the league. Then they kind of picked it back up, and now we're going to be seeing them at the Season 1 playoffs. So all this is great practice for them. I think they're going to do exceptionally well today and win that Rise matchup.
Orbit plays Phasian here in the bottom quadrant for one of the final top 8 spots. FaZe, I think, the heavy favorite, but Orbit,
sure,
another squad we will see at the North American Regional Finals. Twiz and Sin playing with Lawless, and for this tournament, it's going to be God RX.
Yeah.
But I think Slasher, Enable, Aches, and Parasite going to be favorites today to make it to the finals. That is if they can get past TK, as well as looks like SB should be their opponent in the next round, currently going up against Gravity.
Yeah, I think that I want to touch on this Orbit squad really quick, Chris, and I believe this is a team that is kind of putting all their heart into things. If I'm not mistaken, Twiz took a break from competitive for a few months, if not a while, and now he's back with this lineup. I think that they're playing and they're going all out in these tournaments. So if FaZe is sleeping on them and they could take one game here, especially since it's going to be a best of 3, I do think we could possibly see an upset happen there. But that's really all going to come down to, who knows, is Aches distracted because it's Valentine's Day. What about
Valentine's
Enable?
Day,
You know, the girlfriends and fiancés, whatever you want, whatever they are a factor on this day, Chris.
Right. Yeah, I know. I'm thinking about mine right now and how upset she is that I do not have any flowers waiting at home for when she gets back from work. But I'm going to be here in the studio working. These guys are going to be at home working. There is some prize money on the line. Let's going to take a look. What is our total for today? Looks like $900 to first place, $450 to second, and if you finish third and fourth, you're going to get $225. So just under $1,000 if you win the tournament. But I'm wondering, will this kind of factor into the players' decisions? Will they decide to play more best of threes than trying to slip some best of fives in?
Exactly.
Assuming the tournament is continuing to run a little bit ahead of schedule.
Yeah, it's kind of funny to have to think that way with a smaller bracket and people probably trying to want to get out of here at certain times. I mean, right now in West Coast, it's only 1 p.m., so some of those players are like, hey, I got all the time in the world right now before dinner.
Yeah, 8:30 reservation, I'm good to go.
Yeah, exactly. So they're trying to say, hey, let's take this first place real quick. Then I got my money for a beautiful dinner. I'm buying steaks instead of hamburgers. You know what I'm saying? That's a big difference maker. Or that's at least I'm thinking.
Do you have any Valentine's plans this weekend?
Do I have any Valentine's plans? To be honest, Chris, my only Valentine's plan is to play a lot of video games.
You're gaming tonight.
Yeah, I have to. I was telling you, I have to write a paper on an interesting topic, and then I will be getting into probably some Call of Duty here and there. I know they just added gun game, and I believe it's double XP weekend too. So might have to finally Prestige, and then also possibly hop into some Counter-Strike here and there. So you never know.
All the first-person shooters today. I like it.
In the world. That's what it's all about.
Any ladies watching the stream, I need to do some Valentine's Day shopping. So if you have any gift ideas,
please
put them in the chat.
Please save me.
Help a brother out. Help it out. Hey. Well, Jack, it looks like the game is starting. We're heading to Detroit. Hardpoint, our first game in the best of three. Could extend to a best of five. We'll see what the players decide to do. But we know this one is definitely going to kick things off. Hardpoint, talk to me a little bit about the rotation style. How early do you need to start rotating on this map specifically?
Honestly, what it comes down to is knowing exactly what areas to hold down with the spawns and also how many ARs we're going to be seeing. We've seen some teams rock the IMR. We've seen some teams sit back with 2, even 3 bow players at times just to hold down back trailer and green. You can kind of get away with rotating late on this map, especially if you're confident in being able to break. We've seen that on Garage Hill many times, from that rotation from green all the way over to Garage. A lot of times teams will wait until the last 7 seconds to rotate, and if they get one clean break, boom, now they have control, and they got all that cleanup time. But Chris, who are we hopping on board with here?
I'm going with Moach right off the break. He's got 5 perks to rock at the start, including Hardwire.
Really? And I mean, unfortunately, he's already taken out here. And now we're going to see Classic get taken out. Now Bose is going to get early control here.
Goodness.
Now, once again, this is that scrap time we see here on your mini-map. You see 4 red players coming out of Garage, which is going to be AR. Then you see Prophecy just trying to break from any side right now. I'm not liking this push that they have, because Spacely here in school window, that's a fantastic position. He's able to clean up one here, and they just got 12 full seconds now, but finally Prophecy gets the break.
Yeah, Spacely's continuing to apply that pressure for AR. He's going to be taking down Wheats. On your screen is rotating all the way from back school. Want to see how he plays this, and it looks like the plan really just keep flooding through this back door to the RV, and we're going to see 8 seconds left. The rotation is on right now, and let's go over to our red arrow. We got Spacely kind of holding down the back RVs.
Yeah, that was a great kill there by Anticity. He wound up taking out Classic, and that kill gave his squad the entire spawn that they needed. Now they have control of the hill. Prophecy trying to break it here, but once again, they are not getting the favorable spawns here. It looks like Wheat's going to have 1 player in front of him. He takes him out as well. Finally, though, 1 player in Prof does get the lucky spawn there in school. And now, Chris, we're going to see them push for this break.
Anticity did a really nice job watching the team's flank. Picked up 2 kills. He continues to impress. Wheats on your screen, though, doing the damage. Also, keep your eye on Burns to start off the game. Burns already 8-3 as we take our screen to him. He's inside the hard point as well. 25 seconds left here, so they could rack up quite a bit of time if the spawns keep going their way. But in the back, you see blue team Prophecy finally taking over the back trailers. They're going to be able to control this hard point for the remainder. 10 seconds left. Next rotation is going to be across the map, and it looks like already you're going to see Wheat setting up for it first.
So now, this is what I was speaking about before. We have Wheats inside of this hill, but he's by himself. This Prophecy lineup wound up switching over finally after with just 5 seconds left. And look, There's that break I was talking about, Chris, rotating with only 5 seconds, but now they're here, they're both contesting it. These gunfights here are going to decide who gets this next time.
As a caster, I'm seeing a little bit of lag. I wonder if the players are feeling it at all. Burns on your screen, 10-6. We talked about him hosting, and that host is definitely showing right now. Gosh. Double positive. Looking through everyone over on the Prophecy side, only one player is going to be positive at the moment, and that's Ricky.
Yeah, and Ricky just got taken out there by Burns. Burns is a madman in the hill right now, getting 5 kills right there, Chris. And those are the difference makers right there. If Burns gets taken out early, he loses out on 5 kills in what could be a 15 or 20 second swing. And right now, in which it's a tied game, that is a massive difference maker here as we go into the 4th hill of the rotation. Let's see how Moch and the boys are going to set up here for this post hill.
Yeah, I was looking. Burns rotating way out. Classic already inside the old hill, and it looks like that's going to be Ricky and Moch trying to push to the back. Moch has his hands full. Look at all the outlines. We got 3 players trying to push in, picks up 1, pre-firing for the second. Finally, you're going to see some support, and Moch will claim the hill. As I say that, Burns gets in the window and picks up the final kill. So AR is actually going to hold this down, but a very tight game, less than 10 seconds between these 2 teams.
Right now, Chris, the unsung hero for AR is Anticity. He made incredible plays there on that green hill, holding down the spawns, and there he had the entry kills, giving AR that 20-second swing right there. Also got a kill there in back post alley. Huge stuff coming out of him. His stats don't show it, though, and that's something that you definitely need to point out. There he gets another entry kill, kind of clearing up that green hall, and there you see it. AR breaks yet again. Great stuff coming out of them.
Weed's getting the 2-piece before being taken down, so AR not getting much time. Prophecy on your clock now continues to pick up the final seconds. 85-93 as we rotate to our 4th hill on this map, and it looks like it is going to be AR in there first. Got to go to Burns, man. 19-12, he is definitely controlling this game.
Yeah, right there we saw Bose actually flanking from garage, back alley, and he wound up having a 3-piece right in front of him, but he stopped shooting, Chris, thinking he had the kill. Unfortunately, he got taken out here. That gave AR the early control, but there's Ricky finally getting things in favor of Prophecy. I feel like they haven't held a hill down for the last 40 seconds, 50 seconds at that. Finally now, they're getting some time on the board here. We're almost tied up after the first full rotation of hills.
Bo's picking up 2, Moch grabbing a 3rd, and Classic is still watching this hard point, working with Ricky and Moch, who are inside for the moment. Moch continuing to slay out towards lockers, but both players dropped. It's up to Mbos to take it back. 6 seconds separate these 2 squads. AR holding it down, though, with Wheats really doing a phenomenal job slaying with that ASM-1. As we take a look at our stats, right now, Classic positive for Prof. You got Moch even, as well as Ricky. So they're definitely picking up their slaying game, trying to turn this around back in their favor.
Yeah, I like this out of AR right now with 2 players running that trophy system XO. Surprised Burns doesn't have it on here while he's sitting inside this middle hill. There we go. He clocks it, gets utilized there. Now they are up by 15 seconds here, Chris. Anytime they get here is great for AR. Burns is just sitting in that hill, melting everyone. Finally, he gets taken out here. A good break coming in from Prophecy. They now have full control here of this middle hospital area.
I'm watching Wheats trying to break through. Not going to happen. We take our screen over to Moch, and Moch really just sitting pretty. Doesn't have to do too much. His teammates slaying very well around him. Classic and Moch now falling as we take our screen to Mbos. And Embo's going to find 1. 2 more players inside, catching the second, grabs hardpoint, and we're going to see Ricky on the outside starting to rotate to the next hill. We'll see what he can do here, locking in the green hall, and he's going to be met with a melee. That's a big kill coming in from Burns once again.
AR should have had an easy break there. Mochilla was able to pick up 2, but now here you see it, Chris. They're in control, and the one reason why they had control of the school spawns. Now they can completely dictate how this hill is going to go. They have every player in the position they need. Unfortunately, though, one player does get a great break there. That's going to be Classic. Can he find this other player? Yes, he does. A nice 2-piece there, Chris, and this is what you need to see. He was pushing out for the spawn there. Unfortunately, he gets taken out there. A heads-up play coming out of the boys on AR, and yet again, Chris, they break the hill. This could be more back and forth.
That was Anticity with 3 entry kills, by the way. Just want to point that out. Single-handedly breaking the hard point.
And now he's 27-23 on a 3 streak. He gets taken out from behind there, and that was a little bit of a miscommunication there coming out of AR. Burns was able to clean up those final 2 kills, but they did have a couple players that were unaccounted for that were able to flank there and get that kill. But now can we see a break come out of Prophecy? They have 3 players setting up. Let's see how they make it happen.
Game keeps skipping for me over here, but it looks like Burns not having any problems. +9 inside the hard point, one-on-one versus Ricky, and Ricky's going to win that one. That's actually pretty huge.
Yeah.
You see Prophecy now pulling away. This is their first major lead, up almost 10 seconds. 3 players from AR charging through. Embo's trying to come through the door. Not going to happen. Classic up the ramp, going to find 2 more. Won't be able to finish, and Moch falls as well. Just like that, AR retaking the garage hard point.
Now, this is going to be interesting here. Prophecy is deciding to... Ricky's pushing by himself almost. Finally, he gets some help from his teammates. Can he find the 2 players on the back ramp? Anticity just not only cleaned up one of his teammates, but got a 3-piece of his own. Finally, Classic cleans him up. We are still tied here with only 2 minutes remaining. Wheats just did a full 360 and found that kill.
Burns still inside, challenging Ricky once again. Last time, Ricky won the 1v1. He's going to make it 2 in a row. Big kills from Ricky, another free 5 seconds. That's going to put them at even as we're down to our last 2 hard points. AR trying to get in, staying on board with Ricky. Ricky trying to back up Classic. First 2 coming in through the front door. Finds one, picks up a second with the help of Classic now, and Classic locking it down with Moch. This should be Prophecy's hill. As you can see, the middle street being watched so well right now by Embos and Ricky.
If I'm a fan of Prophecy right now, Classic is my MVP here on a 6th Street bucket. He's got 1 more player pushing in from Post Alley. Is he able to find him? Yes, he does. A 7th streak. He's now +13. Oh, can't find the 8th there, but Chris, he just got them 25 straight seconds. They now have this lead here, but this can still go either way. Can Bose on the 2-piece? He does, but still control of this hill going back to AR.
Classic can't get in this time. Burns with another big one. Finds a second player, but it's Ricky who beats him again. Ricky's 3rd time in those one-on-one situations. Just clutch it up at the final moments of the hard point. Prophecy up by about 30 points as we're down to our last 50 seconds. AR needs to go huge, on board with Anticity.
He yet again got that entry kill, Chris, and now he's going to be looking for players to spawn back. Trailer, Classic with the incredible movement, able to take him out there, and a clean break coming in from Prophecy. They are now up by 20 seconds. If they can just hold on for another 5 to 10 seconds, this game will be over. Classic, you stop. 2 straight kills there. Can he find the 3rd? He goes down, but that's it, Chris. Crazy kills there from Prophecy. Classic dropping almost a 50 bomb here in game number 1.
Pretty impressive stuff as I exit the game momentarily. Here's a peek. 45-32, 9 captures and 4 defense from Classic. Topping the leaderboard in every category for his team. Down for the Atlas, it was Burns, 42-34 with 11 caps. Anticity with some nice entry kills. He's going to finish +4 with 39, as well as 11 captures of his own. But the end, it's 229, 215. It's going to be the boys from Prof striking blood first, winning by 14 points.
Yeah, the difference maker on that final hill, Chris, was, well, the final 2 hills, honestly, was Classic. He was on that 7th streak there in post, then on the rotation, he was able to pick up 1. Then he pushed out of lockers, making sure that there could be no flanks from that area, making sure his teammates just had to hold down middle street. They did just that. They're able to close out the game there, taking game number 1 off host there up against AR.
1.39.
Pretty good
for Classic. Not a bad game. 1.2 and 1.11 for Burns and Anticity. That's going to do it for the hard point. When we come back, we got Search and Destroy game number 2. We might see an uplink. Depends on what they're playing. Is it a best of 5, or will it be just the best of 3? We'll find out after this.